In our previous video, it was mentioned that in the professional interview assessment, there will be written examinations, and within the written examinations, the section B is meant for the ethical essays. The essays is related to the professional conducts. With that, in these videos, I'm going to share with you some regulations of the professional conducts as outlined by the Eng-aim. The relevant documents on the regulations on the professional conduct by the Eng-aim is given here, which can be easily downloaded from its website. The document looks like this, and there is a list of the professional conducts that need to be complied by an engineer. In total, there are 15 professional conducts. My personal experience with these 15 professional conducts are: it is quite difficult to be memorized due to the number of the professional conducts and the detailed information that being disclosed within the conducts. The statements are structured in a very complex manner, which is also difficult to comprehend. Also, the professional conducts are stated in a very generic manners, which is meant to cover a wide variety of the situations and scenarios, and this makes it difficult in terms of the applications or associations with a certain specific scenarios. These are the three main challenges that I encountered during my preparations for the essay questions in the section B. With that, I would like to share my experience in how do I overcome these difficulties, and the method that being used in order to overcome the difficulties is very subjected to personal preference and strategies. The method that is applicable for me may not be applicable for you, but it is still worth for referencing. At the end of the day, you may have your own ways to overcome these difficulties. In general, my personal ways to overcome the three difficulties are using the coded keywords for me to memorize the main content of each professional conducts, restructuring the sentences in the form of the key points to facilitate my comprehensions in terms of the meanings of the professional conducts, and then trying the questions on the professional conducts given by the Eng-aim. Without further ado, let us look into how it is being done. From the list of the professional conducts, there are 15 conducts. It is very difficult for us to memorize word by words. With that, I try to extract the keywords out of the statements, and these keywords is used by me in order to associate the points to the relevant statement of the professional conducts. From the list of the keyword here, which consists of 15 keywords, the first word of the keywords are being organized. What you see here, the sequence here is not in accordance to the sequence as stated in the document here. It is arranged in the sequence that I can easily memorize it. I pronounce this as smack pill core. Every single one of these represent a keyword, and then at the core part here, there will be 2C, 2O, and 4R. Each of the alphabet here represent keywords. during the exam, before I look into the sections 2, I will write down these statements, SMAP Build Core, with the relevant keywords outlined properly before I look into the questions. S is for solicit, M is for medium of payment, advertisement, danger, public statement, informations, waste, competence, conflict of interest, opinion, overruling, responsibility, competence, responsibility, supervisions, reputations, and remunerations. Next, for each of the keyword here, I look into the official statements of the professional conduct, look into the components that constitute the meaning of the statements, and outline the key points here. The statement sounds like a member should not inappropriately solicit work as an independent advisor or consultant, either directly or by an agent, nor should he pay any person by commissioning or otherwise for the introduction of such words. The statement here seems to be very complicated. There are structures within structures in the sentence. This makes it to be very difficult to comprehend. The key point that I extract from the statement here is not to inappropriately solicit the words and not to pay any persons for the solicitation work. This simplifies the meanings of the statement and help me to recall the rationale behind the professional conducts. Next is the medium of payment. A member acting as an independent advisor or consultant should not be the medium of payment made on his employer's behalf unless so required by his employer, nor shall he place contracts or orders in connection with the work on which he is employed, except with the authority of and on behalf of his employer. Again, the statement is very complicated, but from the key point here, we know that an engineer should not be the medium of payment, placing the contracts or order, unless being authorized by the employer, doing the task on behalf of the employer. Next is the advertisement. A member should not, in self-laudatory language or in any manner derogatory to the dignity of the profession, advertise or write articles for publications, nor shall he authorize any such advertisement or articles to be written or published by another person. The key point here will be in self-laudatory language or any manner derogatory to the dignity of the professions, not to advertise, not to authorize other people to do their advertisements. Next, a member should at all times take care to ensure that his word and his product of the word constitute no avoidable danger of death or injury or ill health to any person. This is relatively easy. The key point will be avoidable, death, injury, and ill health. The public statements. A member should not make any public statement in his capacity as a professional engineer without ensuring that his qualification to make such statement and any association he may have with any party which may benefit from his statement are made known to the person or persons to whom it is directed. The key point will be a member to make public statement in the capacity of PE. He needs to ensure that the qualifications of making such statements is appropriate, And also he needs to make known to the person that any associated parties that may benefit from the statement. Next is the informations. A member should not improperly disclose any information concerning the business of the employer or any past employers. The key point will be not improperly disclose the information regarding the business of the employer and the past employer. Next, a member should take all reasonable steps to avoid waste of natural resources, damage of the environment, and wasteful damage or destructions of the products of human skill and industry. The key point will be waste of natural resources, damage of the environment, wasteful damage or destructions of the product of human skill and the industry. A member should take all reasonable steps to maintain and develop his professional competence by attention to new development in science and engineering related to his field of professional activities. If he is an employer, shall encourage his professional employees to do likewise. The key points are reasonable steps, maintain and develop professional competency, aware of the new development, and encourage the employees to do so. Conflict of interest. A member should inform his employer in writing of any conflict between his personal interest and the faithful service to his employer. In the existence of the conflict of interest between the personal interest and the service to the employer, a member needs to inform the employer in writing. A member called upon to give opinions in his professional capacity shall, to the best ability, give an opinion that is objective and reliable. The key point here will be in the professional capacity to be objective and reliable to his best ability. A member whose professional advice is not acceptable shall take all reasonable steps to ensure the person overruling or neglecting his advice is aware of any danger which the member believes may result from overruling the neglects. That means when the professional advice is being rejected or neglected, it is our responsibility to let the person aware of the danger which may as a result of the overruling and neglect. A member should not undertake responsibility as a professional engineer which he does not believe himself competent to discharge. That means if you are not competent, you should not take the responsibility. A member should accept personal responsibility for all works done by him or under his supervision or directions, and shall take all reasonable steps to ensure the person working under his authorities are competent to carry out the tasks assigned to him, and that they accept personal responsibility for the work done under the authority delegated to them. The key points are accepting the personal responsibility for the work supervisions done by him, and make sure yourself delegate to the competent person, and that person is also accepting the personal responsibility for the output of the work. A member should not recklessly or maliciously injure or attempt to injure, whether directly or indirectly, the professional reputations, prospect, business of the other engineers. The key points here are reckless and maliciously injure or attempt to injure the professional reputations, prospects, and business. A member should not accept remunerations in connection with the professional services rendered to his employer other than from his employer or with the employer's consent, nor shall he receive directly or indirectly any royalty, gratuity, or commissions on any articles or process used in or for the purpose of the work in respect of which he is employed unless until some loyalty, gratuity, or commissions have been authorized in writing by his employers. Personally, I feel this statement is the most complicated of all. A lot of bombastic words, and hopefully I'm not being asked the questions related to this professional conduct. For me, I will simplify the statements in this manner: not to accept remunerations in connections with the professional service, receive only from the employer unless being authorized in written. With that, we have gone through all 15 professional conducts as outlined by IEM. As the summaries of these presentations, these are the ways that I overcome the difficulty to memorize, to comprehend, and to apply the regulations on the professional conducts. First, I memorize the keywords: SMAP call, list all the relevant alphabets, list all the keywords, and comprehend the statement in accordance to the key point. When being required to answer for the section B on the professional ethics, I will look into the list here for which professional conduct is relevant and try to explain in my own ways, which is more comprehensible in the layman term, and try to associate these professional conducts with the scenario as stated in the questions. With that, all the best and good luck to you.